Good morning, everyone, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to this evening edition on this September 11th, 13 years after that day that we all remember very clearly in our heads.
Yes, I'm meteorologist Ulises Garcia. Yes, I mean, it's 13 years.
13 years. I still remember being in third grade and not really knowing what's going on, but it's so sad, you know. Just days we'll remember for sure, and yeah, where were you?
Well, I was in 8th grade, and I was in history class when I actually found out about it. My Spanish teacher ran over to my history teacher and told us about it. So
Yeah,
it's really emotional.
I definitely remember being coming home, and we didn't even have a couch yet. Just moving down into Florida and just hearing about the news and not knowing what was going on. Now, 13 years later, being able to appreciate it a lot more than it was, and being able to take the historical significance from it. So it's a big day.
No, yeah, it was a very big day, and we'll always remember it. And
yeah, it's sad. But on a little bit of a brighter note, it was beautiful weather out there. Still kind of summer-like though.
Yeah, summer-like overall, but we just got a couple of showers here and there. But overall, it wasn't too bad of a day.
Not too bad. Still kind of humid, not kind of fall-like we would have liked it to be. But give it time. Give it time.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna see some changes soon, but we're gonna send it over to Zach as he gives us an overview for tonight's show.
Hey, thanks guys. It was a beautiful day. We're taking a look at our tower cam down Tennessee and Woodward. It was sunny, bright, students out at class. You see that crosswalk that a lot of students cross almost daily. Well, it was sunny until just recently. We had a minor rain shower go through, kind of strong at times, especially where I am. My roommate has a Jeep. He took off his roof. Let's say his Jeep's kind of wet right now inside. Satellite and radar, no big rainstorms to talk about, just a few passing showers, especially to our west. Wilma is getting the most of that shower activity, a little stronger storm moving towards them. Out west, we're talking about snow. We're going to talk about that coming up in our segment as well. But our weather headlines, it's going to be sunny and hot tomorrow, and the heat's going to stay in place for this weekend, but some rain is also coming in to our forecast. We'll send it back to you guys at the desk to tell us more.
Thanks, Zach. And yeah, talking about snow in September.
I know, we're talking about snow and freezes and even frost for the northern tier of the country already.
Yeah, aren't we glad we don't live there?
No, yeah, and what's funny is we're still actually, astronomically speaking, in summer still.
That's right, and some places in the Midwest and to the plains are already breaking records in terms of record lows and even record cool highs.
Yes, I mean, one of the cities was actually Rapid City. They got 45 degrees on Wednesday, when yet on Monday they were actually double that for 90 degrees.
Yeah, what a temperature difference. Almost half the temperature from their high on Monday. It's crazy, and I think Denver's even expecting an inch of rainfall already.
Yeah, inch of snow, a rain-snow mix that far down. I mean, and even cooler weather, even into parts of the Mid-South Tennessee Valley going into this weekend. So that's actually going to be a refresher for that portion of the country.
Yeah, but to tell us more about the snow, hey, Allie, what's it like over here?
Unfortunately, we have no snow here and nothing near those temperature changes either. We are still sitting in the 80s and in the 90s. You can see as for our 24-hour temperature change, we were at 80 yesterday, and then we dropped down to only about 74, so we are not feeling anything cool over in our neck of the woods. But then today, as that sun came up, we did get up to 92 before that rain headed our way. So unfortunately for us, we are not getting those negative 20 temperature differences, but we'll have to hang in there for just a little bit longer. Right now in Tallahassee, we're at 85 degrees with our humidity of 65%. So that's because our dew point is raising up. As you look outside, you can see those clouds, and you can see that rain just coming on in. So it is bringing up that dew point. For around our region, we're at 85 degrees here in Tallahassee, 95 up in Bainbridge, and 87 down in Carabel. It is slightly cooler over there in Wilma. They're at 78, and that is because they are seeing the rain right about now. For our dew points, 72 here in Tallahassee, 72 up in Bainbridge, and 73 over in Wilma. Pretty much the same story, just slightly lower. They're at 70 for their dew point over there in Valdosta. But for our local radar, these are those scattered showers that you see as you're just going outside. just a couple scattered showers around our area, but Wilma, you can see that is where most of the rain is. They're getting that as they drive home from work. So definitely watch out, keep your lights on, and don't forget those umbrellas if you do have some plans tonight. For our futurecast, this is kind of the big system that we've all been keeping our eyes on. This is a cold front, and as it's pushing across the country, it is bringing lots of showers basically wherever it passes, and then these cooler temperatures are basically behind it. So unfortunately down here in Florida, we are not seeing it, but it is going to continue to push on through, and I will lower our temperatures just slightly, but we will not see the moisture from that. Our moisture will actually be from another system that is towards our south. But for tonight's forecast, 73 degrees, mostly clear. Winds calm after midnight, so it'll be a fairly nice night with moderate temperatures. For tomorrow's forecast, 93 degrees, sunny and warm. It will be fairly similar to today, nice and sunny, but then we'll see a shower here or there as we move throughout the day. For our boating forecast, we have waves at 1 foot, so it's going to be a nice boating conditions if that rain can hold out and give us some nice weather. And then we'll take a look at our 7-day forecast. You can see those rain chances continue to increase throughout the weekend, and we are still nice and warm for now. But if you look all the way over there to Thursday, you see that high of 83. That would be really nice and kind of refreshing for us. But for now, we're going to send it over to Connor.
Thanks, Allie. Yeah, so will that temperature difference, that front can make it into our area? I guess we'll find out pretty soon, but right now we're going to sit into the sticky conditions of summertime. Look, 93 here in Montgomery, and Tallahassee 85. So a little bit cooler due to that rain, but we might not see those cool fall temperatures for another couple days, even till the next week. So sticking around with some sticky conditions. 72 right here is the current dew point, 70 up there in Alabama. Again, these high dew points indicate a very humid and moist air mass over us right now, which is helping lead to that uncomfortable conditions when you walk outside today. Now today's high temps will reach the lower 90s pretty much all across the southeast, a little bit cooler down towards the Miami area, but overall in lower 90s having taken over the southeast. Now this is our setup, as Allie was just mentioning. We have that front over here to our northwest that is making its way down. Don't think it'll get to our area just yet. Maybe the one next week will have a little bit more of a chance with getting some of those fall-like conditions in here. But over here, we do see all this convection and the spinning right here. And this is actually an Invest 92, as the National Hurricane Center is investigating this system for possible development, about a 30% chance of development for this system, as it does push right across the Florida Peninsula and eventually into the Gulf of Mexico. So we will have to keep an eye on it. But for our weather here in the Panhandle, we look pretty dry at the moment. Got that front to the north, having some pop-up showers here and there. But overall, just kind of that summertime humidity, that summertime thunderstorms. So we'll just have to watch that if you do have evening plans this evening and into tomorrow, as this pattern will stick around for quite a while. Now, I was mentioning the future cast. If we look at to the future tomorrow and into Friday, we do see this rain just kind of moving over with that tropical invest, as I just mentioned, moving across, having some popcorn showers here and there with some rain and some thunder. So if you do have some outdoor activities, be aware of that. And then that front, as we just saw, gets close to our area. Don't think it'll pass quite to our area. It still have that chance for showers and thunderstorms, but maybe we'll get lucky and have some of that cooler, drier air into our area. Now tonight's forecast, we're going to sit into the lower to mid 70s across the Florida Peninsula, and then to the low to mid 70s into the Georgia and Alabama. Now tomorrow's forecast, pretty similar, a little bit warmer, 95 here, but not too bad, 96 there in Montgomery, so quite warm as we do step in to the tomorrow into the other section. So, Ulises, what do you have to think about those temperatures right now?
It's still hot out there. I mean, except where the rain is.
That's right, yeah. It's still warm out there. It's not very enjoyable at the moment, but we do actually have another big event that we have to talk about.
Oh, yeah. So we have actually some aurora. Aurora is actually happening sometime late this weekend.
And that's right, and that is due to a coronal mass ejection, a CME, that is actually approaching Earth. But not to be alarmed, it should not affect us, but our technologies might get a little bit affected by this storm.
So yeah, so if you're feeling, GPSs, cell phones, even your satellite dish, they will feel some sort of effect going into the weekend.
That's right, yeah. So we got to just be prepared for that. They do say that we should not have any problems with UV or anything, so being outside is fine, but your GPS, your car, if you're driving down, might not get you to the right place, so be aware of that.
No, yeah, and it's even actually even affecting as far south as Maryland and Kansas, so that's actually a pretty good view, pretty far south, you know, to see that.
That's right.
These upcoming nights.
That's true. But to tell us more about the weather here, let's go to Zach at the wall.
And we're going to go to Allie at the wall. So for our current temperatures, this is actually around the U.S. You can see this pocket of blue. Those are actually 30s. Can you believe it? 30-degree weather in the middle of September. So that's pretty much the big story right now. And you can still see 30 degrees over here. And then we get into the yellow. And then, of course, there's Florida sitting down there in the red, like I mentioned earlier. So that blue and those cooler temperatures are associated with this front, which you can actually see. This is the front right along here. So you can see the temperature changes. Denver is at negative 23 degrees. So that means in 24 hours, their temperatures dropped 23 degrees, which is very significant. And of course, it is because of this cold front. So you can see even Memphis, they're at negative 19 degrees. So as this pushes forward, the temperatures will continue to drop. And it will bring with it showers, which we will see right now. So here's our satellite and radar. And you can, if you look at this, you can see those are the clouds and those are the showers associated with this front. So we are going to zoom in just a little bit. You can see just north of us, those are our showers and clouds with this front, but our moisture is actually from this little disturbance down there. And as Connor mentioned, that is being monitored by the Hurricane Center, but right now it only has a 30% chance of development. So as it pushes across Florida, we will start to feel more of that moisture. But back to that cold front, you can see in North Carolina, right now it looks fairly calm, but as the front moves forward, they are going to start to see more showers and more severe storms as we move into tomorrow. And we will just move down a little bit and take a look at Texas. These are just a couple of scattered showers associated with that cold front, but nothing too severe for them as of right now. But of course, the big story is the snow. This blue, that is actually snow up in Billings. And it's actually cool to note because we had a alumni weathercaster, Erin, is up there, and she actually forecasted snow this morning. So I can't even believe it. Living here in Florida, and now she's forecasting snow. So that is the big story up there, the snow associated with this cold front. However, we will take a look at the numbers for tonight. Here's tonight's forecast, 67 in Memphis, 51 in Kansas City, and I can't even believe it, 33 up there in Billings. So it is definitely nice and cold for them. Definitely around the country, they are feeling that cold front as it passes through. I know you guys are hoping that we'll feel it in Tallahassee, but unfortunately, we will not get to see it as much as we would like. So for now, we are going to pass it back to Connor.
Thanks. Tomorrow's forecast, apparently, and that high of 93 though today, unfortunately, low mid 70s, so still feeling like summer out there right now. But our average about 89, so quite a few degrees above average for this time of year. Now today's high temps, 93 here in Tallahassee and 97 in Bainbridge, so almost near 100 degrees right now in September, where our friends in the Northwest are experiencing snow. So what a difference that has to make between the North and the South here in this mid-September time frame now. So current conditions right now, we have 85 degrees is currently outside if you're stepping outside, so be prepared for those popcorn showers we might have here and there. Our dew point is at 72 degrees, so again, it is humid, it is sticky. We are in the summer-like pattern, at least for the next week or so. We might get a little bit lucky with that front that comes down and lower our chances, which I'll talk about in just a second. But our current temperatures right now, 85, like I just mentioned here in Tallahassee, Monticello 89, so mid to upper 80s here in the Panhandle, a little bit warmer as you do move north, 95 there in Bainbridge, so still feeling gross and not very comfortable out there in this time of the night. And our dew points, as I had mentioned, lower to mid 70s across the board, so summer-like is the story for our weather here in the Panhandle. Now our satellite and radar, as we do look out, we do see this disturbance right here, as Allie and I mentioned earlier. 30% chance of development, and this is what we're going to have to watch, not only for tropical development, but this front that you see up here to our northwest will be coming down, and depending on what happens with this invest, it could actually help push either back up, the cold front back up, so we don't get those fall temperatures, or it could actually help pull it back down. Kind of have to see where we're going with this point in time, but we'll definitely have to watch that. And we can just see briefly a little bit of popcorn showers, as I mentioned here, in the Tallahassee area. Now, the futurecast does show this low pressure, which is associated with that cold front, pushing to our southeast over the next couple of days, in which we do have a chance for storms, and behind that cold front is where you get those cool fall temperatures. So fall is in the air for our friends in the Midwest and into the plain states. Now, this will continue to push east, and the severe threat will continue to push to our east. And here in Tallahassee, we'll just have to watch it for a couple more shower and thunderstorm activity as it does push to our way, and see if this cold front does get here. Now, tonight's forecast, we're going to be sitting in low to mid 70s, and then tomorrow pretty much the same. We're going to be in the low to mid 90s here in Tallahassee, 93, hopefully getting out of those 90s by next week. Well, we shall see. I know I'm ready for fall a little bit here in Tallahassee, but not ready for snow. What about you guys, Allie and Zach? Ready for some fall-like temperatures here?
I guess we are ready for some fall-like temperatures. I don't think we're ready for snow, though.
No, we do not want snow. At least I don't want snow anytime soon. I can speak upon that. But, you know, it is the peak of hurricane season. It happens across yesterday and today. And Allie, tell us a little about what the peak of hurricane season means.
Okay, so for right now, we're at September 11th, and that is the peak for the thermodynamic. I guess that's the thermodynamic peak.
Okay.
And so basically that just means that the conditions right now are perfect for storm development.
Okay, so normally around this time of year, the conditions are ripe for storms to develop. And actually, we're going to be going into a varying segment shortly about the tropics that I'll be giving you a little more info on. But it doesn't always mean that when you hit the peak, it is going to be perfect conditions.
That is true. And, you know, as we move into the next couple days, the water is still going to be warmer. So, you know, it still could happen.
Understood. But we're going to send it right on off to Ulises for around Florida. Ulises, what's going on?
Overall, just a lot of clouds all around the Sunshine State. Right now, the current conditions, you notice a lot of cloud cover, 89 in Orlando, 86 in Jacksonville, where that rain is really just persisting. 70s, 76 in Miami and West Palm Beach, and even 81 in Key West. Those dew points have been on the high side, very sticky, very uncomfortable, upper 60s to low 70s. That's really not going to change too much in the next couple of days. And that's even going to be helped even more, as you notice, towards the east. We actually have that disturbance, 30% chance of development by the National Hurricane Center. It's pretty much going to meander and stick around over South Florida for the next couple of days. And depending, you know, how that goes, that will also affect us somewhat going into the weekend. Just remember, though, even Miami now, they actually have seen already they're actually a foot surplus of rain since June. So they're actually just being bombarded with a lot of rain these last couple of months. For the rest of the Sunshine State, you know, it's just those afternoon showers starting to pop up along the coast of Gulf. So just be careful if you're driving on US 98 from Apalachicola to Pensacola. Towards the eastern side, though, towards the Swanee River Valley, a lot more quiet. Just a couple more sprinkles trying to develop over Valdosta. As we go further south and east, Jacksonville, a couple of showers early this afternoon. Quiet down I-95 towards Daytona Beach. As we head towards the central portion of the state, that's where really the conditions begin to change and crumble. Especially if you go down the turnpike towards West Palm Beach, you notice that big batch of rain. So just be careful. And really, you just can't get around it as you go towards South Florida. Pretty much just rotating just off West Palm Beach, and it's going to continue as we go towards the evening. So just give yourself some extra time driving, and just remember, turn around, don't drown, especially if you're heading towards the southern portion of the state. The futurecast for the next 24 to 36 hours, that rain will continue. Overall, just can't avoid it, especially in the southern half of the state. Towards the north, a lot more quiet as we end our work week. We dig a little bit further into Friday night. The cloud cover begins to cover most of the Sunshine State. At least a little break, hopefully, for the southern portion just to dry up, and hopefully some sunshine will appear. Tonight's lows on the warm side, upper 70s to mid 70s, especially further north. Tomorrow, 95 in Tallahassee. The sizzle continues in the capital city towards the southern half. Just rain, clouds, and storms. And just remember, any of these storms could be severe, so just be on the lookout. And now we're just going to expand on it a little bit further now with Zach on our tropical forecast.
Indeed we are. Indeed we are. It's the tropical update, something that here at FSU Weather we talk about sometimes and we talk about other times. And today is one of those days that we need to talk about it because, well, we have two storms to talk about. Hurricane climatology first before we get to it. We are in the month of September. So in September is the peak. That's what I was telling you guys at the desk, the thermodynamic peak, as we call it in meteorology. September is basically, you're going to see storms form from what we call the African wave train. And these are waves that are literally coming all the way from Cape Verde and moving west towards the panhandle of Florida. And it can really go anywhere across the Atlantic. So our first storm system we're talking about is this one. Connor introduced it to you earlier. It is an INVEST, and an INVEST is an investigation that the National Hurricane Center is going to put into the storm. So we are watching it. 30% chance of development over the next 5 days. It's going to begin to really push across the panhandle, and as it moves across today into tomorrow, into the Gulf of Mexico, we're going to continue to watch for development. Not much development is expected of the storm across the next day because it's moving over land. Now, if it gets into the Gulf a little earlier, we could see a little development before the upper level winds do not become conductive anymore. So no real threat to us. This, however, is a possible threat. It's Tropical Depression 6. Very minor storm, very small storm, but the convection earlier this morning around 11 a.m. was strong enough for the National Hurricane Center to bump it up to a tropical depression. So the latest information on Tropical Depression 6, there we go, now it's switched. It's located 3,000 miles away from Tallahassee, east-southeast of Tallahassee. Its track nowhere close to Tallahassee right now. It's moving out. Tropical storm, 40, 50, 60-mile-an-hour storm before it turns into a Category 1 hurricane sometime around Monday or Tuesday. It looks like it's going to begin to curve, so we don't really have to worry about the U.S. right now, but we'll continue to watch it just in case. If it does develop into a storm like we're expecting tomorrow, Eduardo is our next storm. As for our tri-state regions, though, pretty cloudy, pretty rainy, especially across Tallahassee. Panama City is beginning to see some clouds as well. And those scattered showers, scattered popcorn showers as we like to call them, really popping up across the tri-state region. Temps, well, they range from the 70s in Panama to the 90s up in Montgomery over there in Alabama. Also 90 in Macon, Georgia, 89 in Savannah. It's going to be hot for the rest of today. The current winds, not that bad, 12 miles an hour in Jacksonville. 71 is tonight's forecast over in Jacksonville, 70 in Macon, 73 in Tallahassee. We're going down, but then we're going back up into the 90s tomorrow, 95 on here in Tallahassee, and 92 in Gainesville, 93 in Orlando. So it's going to be hot for the next few days.
It is definitely going to be hot. I mean, we might see a few showers, but I don't think that's going to cool us down too much.
I don't think it'll cool us down that much until possibly later next week. And you'll see that in our local, starting with our 7-day.
Yes, we will. We will see that. But for now, how about that summer temperature or the summer conditions?
Summer wrap-up.
Yeah.
Summer wrap-up, I like to call it.
All
we
right.
had a lot of weather happen across the summer, starting with some twin tornadoes that happened in Nebraska back in June. Hurricane Arthur hit North Carolina in July around the 4th of July weekend.
You are right. 4th of July weekend. We also had a couple tornadoes and even some flash flooding.
Flash flooding, and the flash flooding in all places, the Southwest, and monsoon conditions over there in Phoenix. Also a tornado near Denver International Airport. It was one wacky summer with weather.
Right, and we definitely can't forget about those wildfires out in California. They were feeling it.
Not at all. But you know who also is feeling it? I think we're also feeling it at the wall with Ulises for our final local. Ulises.
Oh yes, I'm feeling something. I don't know if it's the heat or the humidity. It's 85 degrees at this hour with mostly cloudy skies and the winds that calm at 0 miles per hour. When it comes to those temperatures all throughout the Big Bend, a lot warmer, especially in Bainbridge. Bainbridge has been pretty much the winner all summer long when it comes to the heat. 95 degrees. The cool air over Wilmette, 78, thanks to that cool rain showers. Towards the eastern half of the Big Bend, 91 in Valdosta to Thomasville. When it comes to that humidity, nothing has changed like I mentioned before in the Florida forecast. Overall, the humidity continues to spike up. It's even higher in this map, 77 in Monticello, 75 in St. Mark's. 69 is the less humid spot in Valdosta, but that ick factor is definitely all around and ain't going to be changing anytime soon. Satellite radar, most of the cloud cover has extended towards the western portion of our Wilma, and you notice a lot of those showers starting to develop thanks to that afternoon heating, those popcorn thunderstorms starting to build up from that instability of the sea breeze. Satellite radar, as we expand out further out into the southeast, a couple more showers into Alabama and even Mississippi. But you notice a little bit of that cloud cover from that tropical disturbance just off over Vero Beach, and that's going to be something to look out for this weekend. But the rest of the southeast pretty quiet, and that's pretty much going to stay like that as we go into our Friday to end the work week. That cold front has pretty much impacted the Midwestern United States with snow, begins to descend down. Be on the lookout for severe storms from North Carolina all the way into Alabama, so it's going to be a wild Friday for that portion of the southeast. And that cold front extends all the way into New Mexico, so pretty much the cool weather will be great news, especially for a majority of the country. Unfortunately, we'll be on the outside looking in just like in the playoffs for baseball at this time of the year. When we go into our Friday afternoon to our Friday evening, that same front will try to struggle to make its way towards us. Unfortunately, we'll see what happens, especially with that disturbance in the Gulf. We'll see. We'll pretty much be sandwiched in between both of them, so just have that umbrella handy as you go out. Tonight, though, 73 degrees, mostly clear skies. Enjoy it out there if you see some stars, especially if you go outside of town. Tomorrow, 93 degrees. The temperatures spike back up, sizzle again. Thunderstorms expected sometime after 2 p.m. thanks to that daytime heating. The next 7 days, however, you notice those temperatures begin to descend down, which is excellent news if you're trying to beat that heat. But with that, the rain chances go up. So just remember, we'll go from water bottles to umbrellas, and just remember those morning lows continue to descend. And now we're going to begin to send it over to Allie and Zach as they tell us more about any other stories for us this evening.
Well, thank you, Ulises. I guess the big story for us is weekend.
Weekend. I'm so excited. I love the Thursday show because after the Thursday show, it's basically a weekend. What are you doing this weekend?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have too many plans. Probably just, watching the weather. But I know you have some plans, so what are you doing?
I do. I'm doing the color run. I'm excited. I've never done the color run in my entire life. I've heard, it's super fun. Like, John's over here, our floor director, John's over here. He's like, yes, it is. Yes, it is very fun. I'm super excited, but, it's possible there might be a little rain, but they sent me an email yesterday saying it's fun. You can have fun in the rain, so I'm pretty excited.
So rain or shine,
Rain or shine, I'm running. You can go out on Pensacola and Jefferson, and you can watch me run. Watch, you'll see it.
All right, we'll be out there with signs. You just go Zach.
But you could also have a waterproof sign. Those rain conditions possibly moving in on Saturday or Sunday. But look at that, 83 on Thursday.
That
83.
Sounds fantastic. I can't believe 83 degrees for a high.
A lot of rain too. But you can always find us on Facebook and Twitter. I like some friends.
Yeah, come follow us. Check us out on live stream. You can always watch our show.
At FSU Weather, live stream, Facebook, Twitter, they're all the same. FSU Weather all the time.
All right, well, there's our show for tonight, and I'm student meteorologist Allie Brannan.
And I'm student meteorologist Zach Covey. Have a good night, guys, and stay safe. That was a very good show today. Good show. Have a good